Today, we are diving into a really powerful and honestly kind of startling philosophical idea. We're talking about a group of thinkers who tried to understand the entire universe not by looking out at the stars, but by looking right in the mirror. They projected what they saw inside their own heads onto everything.
So after the huge influence of a philosopher named Hegel, everyone was left with this one massive question. Is reality, is it logical? Is it something we can understand, like a great thought unfolding? Or is there something way more chaotic, something primal driving the whole show? This is where the debate really heats up.
And the movement that really wrestled with this was called Idealism. The main idea is both super simple and completely mind-bending. It's that if you want to understand what the universe is, you first have to figure out what you are. The key to unlocking all of reality, it's right there, inside your own consciousness.
Yeah, a great way to think about it is that your consciousness is like a lens, or maybe a mirror. The idealists were convinced that by studying that reflection, our inner world of thoughts, feelings, desires, we could actually figure out the nature of the thing being reflected, reality itself.
So, the most famous idealist, this guy G.W.F. Hegel, he looked into that mirror of his own mind, and what did he see? Reason, logic. He concluded that the universe itself must be fundamentally rational, structured just like our own thoughts. And this was a super optimistic take. It meant that all of history, all of science, it was all part of some big, logical story moving towards something better.
But then, along comes Arthur Schopenhauer. Now, he used the exact same method. He looked inward to understand the outward world. But when he looked in the mirror, oh man, he saw something completely different. And what he saw led to one of the most pessimistic, bleak conclusions in the entire history of philosophy.
And this right here, this is the main event. Where Hegel saw a rational mind as the key to everything, Schopenhauer saw something deeper, something more primitive. He said, nope, the most fundamental thing about us isn't our reason, it's our will. That impulsive, striving, desiring, and let's be honest, often irrational force that drives us. For him, reality wasn't some great thought. It was a great, blind impulse. So Schopenhauer breaks this all down in his huge work, The World as Will and Representation. And he basically argues that reality has two sides. There's the world we see and experience every day, the surface level, and then there's the true reality, lurking just underneath it all. First, let's talk about the world as idea. This is the world of appearances. It's the everyday reality we all think we know. And it seems pretty orderly, right? It's all governed by predictable rules, cause and effect, space and time, all that stuff. But here's Schopenhauer's huge twist. He says that order doesn't actually exist out there. It's more like a grid or a bunch of filing cabinets that our minds impose on reality just so we can make sense of it.
So, and this is the crucial point, all that logic, all that cause and effect that we rely on, it's just a show. It's a symbolic representation. It's like a map. And a map is useful for getting around for sure, but it is not the territory itself. The true, raw, unfiltered reality, well, that's something else entirely.
And this is the territory, the world as will. Underneath that orderly surface of our ideas, that's where the real reality lies. A single, unified, endlessly striving force. It's not rational. It doesn't have a goal or a purpose. It's totally groundless. It just is. It's this chaotic, endless energy that drives everything from a planet spinning around a star to you reaching for a glass of water.
So you might be asking, how did he know this? Well, he argued that the proof wasn't in some abstract logical puzzle, it was in our own bodies. He called it the lived body. Not the body you see in the mirror, but your inner experience of being a body. Think about it. When you move your arm, you don't just see it move from point A to point B. You feel the impulse, the striving. You feel the will that makes it happen. For Schopenhauer, this was it. This was the one place we get to experience reality directly, not as an idea or a map, but as it truly is.
Okay, so if the entire universe is driven by this blind, endless, striving will, what does that actually mean for us? Well, according to Schopenhauer, the consequences are incredibly grim. He argued that we're all trapped in this miserable cycle. The will, at our very core, forces us to constantly strive and desire things, but desire, by its very nature, is a feeling of lack, which is basically a form of suffering. And if we actually get what we want, well, the satisfaction lasts for a second, and then we're immediately thrown into the total emptiness of boredom until a new desire pops up and the suffering starts all over again.
And this whole vicious cycle led him to his most famous and his most shocking statement. Forget all that talk about the best of all possible worlds. Schopenhauer looked at a reality defined by endless, painful, pointless striving, and he concluded that we are living in the worst one imaginable.
Wow. Okay, that's a lot. It's a staggering and pretty bleak conclusion, right? But it's so important to remember that Schopenhauer's dark vision wasn't the only possible outcome of idealism. Using that same exact method of looking inward, other philosophers looked in the mirror and saw very, very different things.
You can kind of see the different paths idealism could take right here. You've got Hegel's vision of a single, unified, rational spirit. Then, in total contrast, you have Schopenhauer's single, unified, primal will. And then you have other ideas like personal idealism, which just rejected this idea of a single reality altogether. They saw a universe made of many different individual persons, including God, which, as you can imagine, led to a much more optimistic view of things.
But Schopenhauer's dark vision was incredibly influential. I mean, his focus on the will, on striving, on the feeling of what it's like to exist in a body, on the huge problem of finding meaning in a world that seems meaningless, all of this laid the groundwork for the existentialist philosophers of the 20th century, like Sartre and Camus, who would wrestle with these exact same questions.
And that brings this whole thing right back to you. The idealists use their own consciousness as the lens to try and understand everything. So when you look through that same lens, when you really look at your own experience, what do you find? At your very core, are you a cool, calculating, rational mind? Or are you something more like Schopenhauer's restless, desiring, and ever-striving will? The answer might just change how you see the entire universe.